Read this article, then answer questions 8 through 14. Excerpt from Coral Reef, A City That Never Sleeps by Mary M. Cerullo. By late afternoon, the daytime fishes become less interested in feeding and start to move closer to their evening retreats. Perhaps they grow nervous as their day vision becomes less efficient at dusk. The smallest fishes start the rush hour to return to their shelters for the night. Soon, others follow their example. The bright colors of the diurnal fish fades fast in the twilight. Some fishes can actually adjust color cells in their skin to alter their flashy daytime look to dull, darker night shades. The gathering gloom makes others appear darker. The best defense is to disappear entirely inside the coral reef, because now the fish's dark outlines are silhouetted against the setting sun to predators below. Parrotfishes leave their feeding grounds in single file to seek out their individual hiding places in the reef. Some parrotfishes secrete a sticky cocoon from beneath their scales to seal their scent from hungry moray eels. If any creature tries to penetrate the mucus bubble, the parrotfish wakes up and bolts from its bedroom. Some species of wrasses also make cocoons for the night. Others bury themselves in the sand. Because fishes don't have eyelids to close, it's impossible to tell whether or not most fishes are really sleeping. Parrotfishes do seem to go into a trance-like state at night. If they are disturbed from their rest, they act dazed and confused, like humans wakened out of a sound sleep. A triggerfish locks itself inside a coral cave with a tall spine on its back fin. One spine folds down over the first spine like a door latch to hold it in place. Only the triggerfish can release its trigger spine, so a moray eel can't pull it from its retreat. Shadow patrols. Many carnivores, such as jacks, snappers, sharks, barracuda, and groupers, take advantage of the weariness and confusion of transition time on the reef. Their eyes, sensitive to dim light, are better equipped for this time of day than those of the diurnal fishes. Those twilight predators are not very good at distinguishing colors. They can detect shape, outlines, and movement well. The daytime fishes flowing back to the reef offer a constant stream of shape and movement. Many predators that have been quietly waiting in the background all day become more active at dusk and dawn. The crepuscular hunters have ingenious ways of picking off their prey. A grouper leaves its den beneath a coral overhang to vacuum up prey with its cavernous mouth. By thrusting out its lower jaw, its mouth becomes big enough to swallow almost any prey. It has been rumored that giant groupers, which weigh up to 1,000 pounds, have been known to swallow divers whole. Then, the stories go, they spit them out again because they don't like the taste of their wetsuits. Streamlined jacks hunt in packs like jackals. They surround a school of fish, separate several from their companions, and bring them down after a high-speed chase. A lionfish may use its wing-like side fins to sweep fish into a corner of the reef where they can't escape. Other times, it lies motionless and gulps fish that come too close. Although sharks visit the coral reef at dawn and dusk, they have such an effective array of sensory devices that they can zero in on prey at any time. Their excellent sense of smell has earned sharks the nickname of swimming noses. Sharks are especially sensitive to the low-frequency vibrations given off by struggling fishes. Their most impressive sense is located inside sensory pores on the snout. This sense detects the faint electric pulses generated by the beating hearts of their victims. Vision is probably their weakest sense, yet many sharks have cat-like eyes with mirror cells to reflect and concentrate dim light. Some sharks' eyes are so sensitive that they can hunt by starlight on a moonless evening. Dusk, that time between twilight and full darkness, is the spawning time for many diurnal fishes. As one scientist explains, It gives their eggs and sperm a 12-hour head start to escape the hungry mouths on the reef. Many daytime fishes move into deeper water, rise to the surface, or spawn during outgoing tides to let ocean currents carry their eggs and sperm to less populated areas far from the reef. Ghost Town. About 10 minutes after sunset, an eerie quiet descends on the reef. Swaying sea fans provide the only visible movement, like tumbleweeds blowing through a ghost town in a Western movie. The coral passages are silent, deserted, and vaguely menacing. The daytime fishes have retreated to their shelters. Many large predators have headed off with the setting sun into the deeper waters beyond the reef. Others, some groupers, snappers, and reef sharks, remain hidden in the shadows where they can ambush any lone stragglers. The quiet period lasts only about 20 minutes. Then, as abruptly as if a film director had shouted, "Cut!" nocturnal creatures burst onto the set and scene changes to night maneuvers. Question number 8. Which sentence from the article best explains why some fishes may be dangerous to humans? A. Though twilight predators are not very good at distinguishing colors, they can detect shape, outlines, and movement well. Lines 25 through 27. B. Streamlined jacks hunt in packs like jackals. Line 36. Number 3. The crepuscular hunters have ingenious ways of picking off their prey. Lines 30 and 31. Or D. By thrusting out its lower jaw, its mouth becomes big enough to swallow almost any prey. Lines 32 and 33. Number 9. Which detail is most important to include in a summary of the article? A. Because fishes don't have eyelids to close, it's impossible to tell whether or not most fishes are really sleeping. Lines 15 and 16. B. Many predators that have been quietly waiting in the background all day become more active at dusk and dawn. Line 23 and 30. C. It has been rumored that giant groupers, which may weigh up to 1,000 pounds, have been known to swallow divers whole. Lines 33 and 34. D. Many daytime fishes move into deeper water, rise to the surface, or spawn during outgoing tides. Lines 50 and 51. Number 10. Which statement best develops the information presented in lines 1 through 9? A. Daytime fish who live in the coral reef generally start feeding at dusk. B. Fish have the natural ability to become less visible at night in the coral reef. C. Diurnal fish lack defense mechanisms to protect themselves from predators. Or D. Fish in the coral reef have remarkably better vision during the day. Number 11. Read this quotation from lines 40 and 41. Although sharks visit the coral reef at dawn and dusk, they have such an effective array of sensory devices that they can zero in on prey at any time. What does the phrase "zero in on" mean? A. To locate, B. To look, C. To threaten, or D. To smell. Number 12. How is the section Ghost Town contradictory to the primary purpose of the article? A. It suggests that time of day is not imperative to survival. B. It describes how the reef is inactive for a short period of time. C. It provides evidence of how the reef stays consistent over time. Or D. It indicates the reef is dangerous in the evening. 13. Based on the article, the author believes the main influence on how fishes adapt to their environment is A. Currents in the water, B. Depth of the reef, C. Light in the water, or D. Shape of the reef. Number 14. According to the article, why do some parrotfishes make a cocoon? A, to attract other fishes to their hiding place. B, to show other fishes they are asleep. C, to create a safe place for their eggs. Or D, to hide themselves from predators.